Good morning, class. So today we are going to discuss this topic which we have in food and beverage service, that is standard operating procedure, which we say as SOP, which means when a guest comes to a hotel, how do we meet, greet and seat our guests. There are some etiquettes or some manners which is needed by the hospitality staff in the hotel so that the guests are made to feel comfortable and they may visit the hotel again and again. So based on this topic, we first begin with grooming and hygiene. So grooming is a very important feature of the server because he is the link between the guest and the hotel where they have visited. He reflects the image of the restaurant as the person is in direct contact with the guest. So a well-groomed server will represent qualities of hygiene, professionalism, management style and reliability when he attends to a guest. So to be well-groomed, the hair should be cut close, the uniform should be spotless and well ironed. A tight or oversized uniform gives a sloppy appearance. The nails should be properly manicured. Guest, again, body odors or cheap perfumes will not be liked by the guests. The market has some antiperspirants which can be used. Shoes should be well polished and not very flashy. It should be more on the conservative style. A close shave is necessary before entering the restaurant. Stubbles of beard or mustache could be will not be will spoil the effect of a well-groomed server. Bad breath could be nauseating to a guest when he comes close. So hence, you must be careful that the server doesn't have bad breath. For a female server, there are some extra tips. The apron and elastic hairband should be clean. High heels could be a problem because you may topple while serving. Flat shoes with sturdy heels are adorable. Stockings should be clean. It is preferred to have a light makeup by a professional. Too much heavy makeup is not needed. Excessive jewelry is not needed. A strong perfume should not be used by the female server. Maybe a fresh light cologne is more suitable. Moving on to the basic etiquettes. The hotel and restaurant business is mainly a cocktail or comprises of showmanship, diplomacy and sociability. All frontline personnel are required to have the ability to communicate well. The art of communication is a must in the hotel industry. And certain manners and etiquettes, how you should, as a good host, how you can help the guest is very crucial. The basic etiquettes that the server should exhibit in a restaurant are: attend to guests as soon as they enter the restaurant. Recognition is very important, and because when you greet a guest personally with his name, he feels very comfortable and he likes it if you address him by his name. Wish guests the time of the day and welcome them to the restaurant. Good afternoon, good evening, etc. Be polite to guests by frequently using terms as thank you, please, may I help you, excuse me, etc. Assist guests to remove warm, heavy coats in winter and raincoats in the rainy season and help them to put them on when they leave. Help to seat the ladies by pulling the chair back. Provide extra cushions or special chairs for children. Do not interrupt a guest conversation when speaking to them. If they are busy in a conversation, you must wait and not interrupt them in between. Neither should one overhear the guest conversation. Avoid mannerisms such as touching the hair, scratching or picking the nose. Stand erect at all time. A gentle bow at the time of service is permissible. Remember a guest's special dish. Remind him or her that you know it. That would be a personal touch is very important. Ascertain whether he or she should like to order it again. Guests will get impressed. Be attentive to guest calls. Sometimes an raised eyebrow of a guest is enough. If busy, acknowledge with a nod of the head and smile directly on his face, and talk very softly. Strike a match to enable a guest to light his or her light cigarette. Please note that most restaurants today have banned smoking. Some restaurants have a smoking section, and this needs to be ascertained at the time of seating them. Avoid arguing with service staff and guests in the restaurant. Carry pencils in the trouser pocket and not clipped behind the ears. Don't chew gums or betel nuts. Present the bill or the check to the host directly in order to avoid embarrassing him. Discreetly it has to be done. We generally find it is put under cover and given. Most establishments have folders to present the bill. Avoid soliciting for tips, means don't look around for tips. Remove tips after the guests have left. Enter and leave the restaurant through the service door. The main door is not meant for the staff of the hotel. Then hygiene and sanitation too has to be kept in mind. That is, a guest is particular about hygienic food and cleanliness of the environment. In order to ensure a good image, the server must keep the following points in mind. Lead the guests to a clean table. Remove soiled plates and leftover food from tables. Food items and crumbs that fall on the table must be wiped out with a napkin. Keep sideboards, table, and other surroundings clean and neat because the guests are very observant. Keep all the sauce bottles closed. When in use, ensure that the mouths of the bottles are wiped clean. Clean cutlery in fresh water and dry them before use. Wipe glasses with a clean waiter cloth. Very important so that we don't have threads inside the glasses that is used or any stains or thumb impression. Bar mirrors as well as plate glasses should be free of stains. Teams have become the main cornerstones of a food service operation. A poor team performance can severely damage the establishment's reputation, while superior team performance directly will improve it. Teamwork is very essential. So what is a team? A team, you can say, is a group of who are interdependent on each other with complementary skills. That is, the skills which the team members have will help each other because all of them have a common purpose, that is how to improve the performance of the hotel they serve in and approach the goals for which they hold themselves mutually accountable. Teams can help to benefit significant performance challenges. They have a common purpose and are able to assist when a team member is slow. They harness the complementary skills of other team members and have the trust in their competency. Who is the team in a food service operation? The team would include, in a food and beverage service, would include the kitchen, stewarding, service staff, because each one has a different skill which will enhance the skill of the other person in the team. For example, cooking, sanitation, and service respectively, they help each other. The team leader's role is to build a commitment to the common purpose. He or she fills the gap in competencies, delegates leadership in a hands-on performance with the team, makes key decisions and manages external relationships, including the management, guests, and the government. So the team member qualities they must all have is, they must take ownership of the task and objectives and hold themselves accountable. They should not pass it on to the other if there is a mistake. They have a sense of urgency filled with enthusiasm and energy, and they're result oriented and respect each other. Next comes attitude. So today, attitudes are something that we own and we are responsible for. So the joy of serving so let us take an inventory of the main attitudes in a hotel. The joy of serving people, the benefits of service is very important. A cheerful attitude, cooperation is vital in team performance, pride in one's work brings excellence. So there's a difference between outline work and doing work with an aim. Initiative is a very important trait in a hotel staff. You should always come forward whenever the need arises without being told to do so. Salesmanship is a vital job requirement in a hotel. Honesty, again, is a very important attribute or quality which the hotel staff must have. There are many temptations. There are many opportunities for theft and property and guest belongings, misleading guests with information, giving secrets to competition. All these needs to be avoided. Then follows discipline, which is a hallmark of a good food service professional. Because there's a temptation, many temptations are there in the hotel. So you have to discipline yourself both physically and mentally, and avoid making mistakes, and so be an example for others. Like for example, there may be circumstances unavoidable, like sickness or pressing domestic demands. This is normally excused provided this is not regular. Adventurism, the desire to be different, can be converted into innovation. Ignorance of rules, it is important to update oneself constantly with the rules and regulations of the hotel to attract attention, get attention by excellent performance, does not accept the system, clarify problems and doubts. Bad habits have to be excluded, good habits to be improved. So these certain disciplines, which are both physical and mental, has to be incorporated in a hotel staff. Then comes curtsy, very, very important as to how to greet and meet and seat. It is the hallmark of a good waiter to be courteous on all occasions towards guests, but also towards colleagues and other people working in the same unit. The curtsy should be one's nature and one's desire to please others with whom one comes into contact. One manner should not be just a part of the technique of the restaurant, but be spontaneous and genuine. The advantage and necessity of being courteous should be emphasized, as it will smoothen the operations. Some examples of courteous behavior are: each guest entering the restaurant must be received at the door by the hostess or the supervisor. Chairs should be drawn out for the convenience of the lady guests and gentlemen, preferably elderly people. If the waiter wants to know the guest's name, it is advisable to address him by his name, as this shows that he is wanting to recognize his guests. Do not mispronounce names or call them by somebody else's name. In case there are restaurants having bar counters, guests who cannot be seated in the restaurant should be asked if they wish to wait in the bar until a table is available. It is possible the server should accompany the guests to the other facility to make sure that they will be taken care of properly. Guests must be asked beforehand to seating whether the table that they have been allotted is suitable for them or not. When two tables are occupied approximately at the same time, the server must offer the menu to both and attend to the one ready to order first. While approaching a guest, use the word, "May I assist you?" "May I be of assistance?" While taking the order, should leave the menu with the guest to decide. After a while, approach them saying, "Are you ready to order, sir?" Guests should never get the feeling that they are being hustled. Don't push them to order. Give them time to choose what they would like to order. Especially during lunchtime, guests are on a tight schedule. So be prepared to seat them properly. Don't rush them. Before taking the food order, the waiter should ask whether they would like a drink. May we bring your drink before your meal? If the answer is no, the server should take the food order and serve it as soon as it is ready. If the answer is yes, the drink order should be served. When the drink is placed on the table, the waiter should ask, "Would you like to order or shall I come back later?" So these are simple manners a waiter has to learn. If a guest says his food or drink isn't right, the waiter should not argue. Listen to the complaint, apologize, and solve the problem the best way he can. "I'm sorry. Please let me bring you another one, or may I bring something else for you?" The waiter should take the order back to the kitchen and tell the chef to replace it if he has any trouble. In case waiter is busy and cannot attend to the guest at once, the server should inform the guest that he will attend to him shortly. Always present the bill without delay. One way to suggest a closed service is to, "Is there anything more I can get for you?" After a breakfast service, wish the guest with, "Thank you, have a pleasant day." So these are some of the standard operating procedures which needs to be followed in a hotel while meeting, seating, and greeting guests. So we'll continue more on other topics in our next class. Thank you for today.